على عباده الذين اصطفى ما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذ قال موسى لقومه يا قوم اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ جعل فيكم أنبياء وجعلكم ملوكا وآتاكم ما لم يؤت أحدا من العالمين صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين الحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Al-Ma'idah, these 6 ayat, 7 ayat we did yesterday from 20 to 26. Today inshallah we are going to go over the ma'arif of these ayat inshallah. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us and asking the Yahud to recall when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam invited them, encouraged them to go out and fight in the path of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is copying his style. So the way he did it is that he first reminded them about the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And from this we learn that whenever you have to encourage people to do something, whenever you have to tell them about some command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the way to do it is that first you develop their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make them realize and understand the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that they feel within themselves the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and want to act upon the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam first reminded them about the mercies and blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done to them before telling them what Allah wants from them now, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants them to do. Now even in that, the scheme is that first he gave preference to remind them about the spiritual bounties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done to them. This tells us that spiritual bounties or blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that pertain to our deen and our spirituality, they are much better and higher and deserve to be mentioned first before the physical or material blessings. But the material blessings are also a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he first reminded them about the Anbiya that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had sent into Bani Israel, and then he reminded them about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them kingdom, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them become rulers in a place. Then he told them that enter or do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to do. Then he related the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to them. The other ayah number 22, where 23, قال رجلان من الذين يخافون أنعم الله عليهم ادخلوا عليهم الباب. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that two people among them gave them better advice. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has praised these two people by saying رجلان من الذين يخافون. These people were fearful. يخافون. These people had fear. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not mentioned that these people were afraid of who. Because these Bani Israel, they were afraid of Amalika, the people who were descendants of Ad, and therefore they had huge tall statures and they were strong people. So Bani Israel were afraid of these people. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that these were the people, only two among them had fear among them. They had fear among them. They were afraid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not mention who they were afraid of, but it is automatically understood that the one to be afraid of, the one to have the fear of the most is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, and that fear should supersede all other fears. So the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in their hearts, the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was more than the fear of the Amalika or the fear of anyone. So therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, رَجُلَانِ مِنَ الَّذِينَ يَخَافُونَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمَا. The second thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned is that this property in their hearts, that the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was more than the impression or the fear of any other being, was because of a ni'mat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had done ni'mat to them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had done blessing to them. And therefore all goodness that anyone has, be it relating to their heart or to their bodies, material world or spiritual world, all of it is a ni'mat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does that mean? That means that ni'mat is something that is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly. Therefore, whatever goodness we are seeking relating to our spiritual world or relating to our material physical world, we should seek it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we cannot get it apart from anyone but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَتَوَكَّلُوا إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. The last part of the same ayah says that mu'mineen, the believers, it is a quality of them that they rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the face of all fears, they fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala most, and they rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the advice that they gave the people, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala quoted in the Quran, وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَتَوَكَّلُوا إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ, a condition of iman. Rely on Allah if you are a believer, if you are from among the believers. So tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a condition of and a requisite of iman, and it's a manifestation of iman. If somebody has iman, it will show by their tawakkul or reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The third thing that we mentioned, kind of hinted at last night as well, that had they done kufr by saying, had they humiliated the Prophet Musa, or had they ridiculed the Prophet Musa, that would have amounted to kufr. That would have amounted to kufr, by saying that you and your Rabb go and fight and we are going to sit here. They were really afraid, and the way they said it was that we cannot help you. If you seek help, seek it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from your Rabb. So this did not constitute kufr. That is the reason why Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam had pity over them. When the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came that they will be stranded in this place for 40 years, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam had pity over them, and actually in some narrations it is said that he actually asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ease the punishment. So this tells us that if somebody does kufr, it is impermissible to make dua for them, except for asking for their hidayah. If we cannot make dua for kuffar except for one dua, which is that Allah give them Islam, give them belief. Somebody who has died upon kufr, then we cannot ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for maghfirah for them, because this is amounting to asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make right what they did wrong and what they perpetually did wrong. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give them hidayah as long as they are living, and once they have passed away, yes, we can make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lighten their punishment, but we cannot say that Allah put them in Jannah or totally forgive them. قال رب إني لا أملك إلا نفسي وأخي فافرق بيننا وبين القوم الفاسقين. When you are not able to control the situation, which was the state of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he said, Ya Allah, I have control over myself and my brother Harun alayhim as-salam, both of them. But then when you are not able to control the whole situation or the whole society, then the minimal thing that you can do is to create a distinction, a clear distinction between you and the disobeying people. So if you constantly keep on mingling with the disobedient people, and your heart, there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ where the Prophet ﷺ has told us that Jibreel alayhi salam was told, or some other angel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was told by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to go and punish one settlement of people. And that angel asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, should I go and do it? There is one very pious person in there. One very pious person in there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, start with that person. And in another meaning it may be that turn the whole settlement upon him, because he did not feel in the tiniest bit uncomfortable with the disobedience of people around him. So he was pious himself, but he was not uncomfortable with the disobedience around him. So therefore, when there is widespread disobedience, the minimum thing that we have to do is to feel discomforted by it and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and try our best to distance ourselves from it. So stay away from the disobeying people and not interact and mingle with them, and try our best to bring them to the correct ways as much as we can. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted this dua. Therefore, by virtue of this, because of the Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being among these people, even the azab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was not total annihilation. The azab, the punishment was that they will be stranded in this area for 40 years. They will not be able to either go back to Egypt or enter the sacred land of Sham. They will keep on going around in circles. And this is what happened. but because the accepted people of Allah were right in them, by virtue of the people of Allah, there was constant blessings upon them, even the sinning people. So from this, Hazrat ulama mufassirin have written that in a community, if there's a few people at least who are fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the blessings come down upon the whole community, even they be sinning people. The blessings come down upon, and the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is lightened upon the whole of people. So what happened with these people was that although they were under punishment, but because of Sayyidina Musa and Sayyidina Harun alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided for them. So it comes in narrations that when they will feel hungry, birds will automatically come to them and they will be able to easily use them for their food. Similarly, when they needed water, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam struck his staff on a stone, and that stone was a moving stone. It was not like a fixed rock, it was a moving stone, and from that moving stone 12 streams of water erupted, one for each of these tribes. Similarly, when they were worried about, they needed shelter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a cloud that would keep them covered. When they outgrew their clothes started to grow with them. Their clothes never became dirty. These kind of blessings were upon these sinning and disobedient people, were there because the accepted friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala were right among them. So therefore, the company of the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is such a blessed thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even in the punishment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends down some mercy and blessing and does not give perfect annihilation, and the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is cool. فَلَا تَأْسَ عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الْفَاسِقِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbade Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam to have pity over the people who are sinning openly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, to have this we also already mentioned, that those people who are, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is himself declaring them fasiqeen, those people that we have the tiniest hope, we should keep on pitying for them, we should keep on having feelings for them, and we should keep on trying to bring them to the right track. But if somebody has passed away on kufr, then we cannot ask for maghfirah for them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from among the accepted slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are perpetual and ever slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. الحمد لله رب العالمين، الصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم، وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا، ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا، ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به، واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا، أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم اجعلنا من أهل القرآن الذي أهلك وخاصتك. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.